Good morning, Mikel. Hope you're well. How is everyone, both fitness-wise and any COVID scares at all in the squad?
We are good. We are waiting for more tests, which we will have this afternoon, and this is the only thing we can do. Wait and see.
But fitness-wise, everyone's good to go?
Yeah, we had a couple of issues in the weekend. We will train today and see how everybody's feeling today.
Obviously, Mikel, as you'll have seen, half the Premier League matches this weekend have been postponed. How concerning is this situation now? Do you fear, both health-wise for clubs and supporters, but also for potential fixture builder?
Well, health-wise, I hope that we are doing everything that we can to protect everybody. And obviously, the vaccine protocols are in place. Everybody's trying to do the best, and I'm sure with everything that we are doing, we can do our best to maintain everybody healthy. In terms of the competition, two things. One, that we need much more clarity why those games are getting not played and what do you need not to play a game, so we are playing in the same league. Because at the end, the most important thing is that we are able to maintain within the context the fairness of the competition, and for me, this is a big thing now.
Okay, great. I'm sure others will have some more questions on that in just a moment. But if I could move on to a couple of other things, I presume you're sticking with the leadership group for the time being, Mikel?
Yes, as I mentioned yesterday, it's been going for months, and I'm really happy with them.
So on that, could I ask you, do you think it's unusual to have two players in a squad who are former captains? And in any way, does that reduce the amount of personal responsibility that a traditional club captain would carry?
I always believed, and in a lot of things that I've been, we always have a group of players that was responsible to make decisions in that dressing room and communicate with the coaching staff, with the club, and transmit it to our supporters. At the end of the day, that decision was transmitting one person. We was the captain, but the decision wasn't made by one person.
And on your form, obviously excellent results back to back now. In a process, Mikel, which you've talked about many times, it's a gradual process that you've been on. Do you feel now that you are really close to where you want to be with this squad of players?
Well, the last two performances have been really good in terms of what we want to achieve in matches, the results that we got, the way we have dominated those games. But we need to be consistent on that throughout 10 months to achieve the goals that we want, which is to be the best, and we are not there yet.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Gary from Sky.
Hello, Mikel. Just back to COVID, if I may. I assume you're being tested now regularly, so every day, all the players and the training staff. And with the last round of tests, was everybody negative? I know you're waiting for today's results.
Yes, but this is changing every day, Gary, and that the uncertainty that we all have, and hopefully we don't have any cases, but we have to wait and see, because we've seen what is happening in the league and in many other clubs. That's the reason why many games are not playing in this weekend.
So clean at the moment in terms of the players. What about around the training ground? Any cases among the staff?
We have issues in the last few weeks, like everybody has. We are not exception, and we are trying to manage that as good as possible, and that's what we are trying to do.
You've asked for clarity about why some of these games are being called off. There's only 2 games left on Saturday. You're one of them. I assume that you'd rather play. You're happy to play if able to.
We always want to play when we have the right conditions to do so, 100%. But we've been here in the other side of the table when we had all the arguments in the world not to play a football match, and we end up playing it. So that's what I'm saying, that we need clarity, because then the fairness of the competition can be altered, and that wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, you're speaking about the integrity of the competition, with some teams playing and others not, and the reasons behind it being a bit unclear.
Yes.
there's been a couple of other head coaches. One of them, Emma Hayes, says that the fear of COVID around Christmas time is affecting players' mental health. Are you concerned about that?
Well, we've done a lot of work, and we try to educate our players and everybody that is involved in the club. But I think this is a social thing. I think everybody's is been going through something that is unprecedented, and we are all learning from it. And we are starting to normalize a situation that we never been through it. And that's what we are trying to do. Try to help everybody as well as we can, and try to live in the context that we live in today, that we have to live with this virus, and probably for longer than we all expected.
Thomas Frank has called for a circuit break to cancel all the games this weekend, just to clear this outbreak, to clear this COVID outbreak. Would you be a supporter of that?
I think there are people that knows much more than I do to try to find out what the best solution is to this. What the best solution is to carry on playing with the rules that we have at the moment, or stop it. I don't know. It's not something that I want to give an opinion, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a specialist, and I think we have to rely on the government and the Premier League to try to make the best decision.
Just one more on this. Because of your early, Mikel, personal experience of COVID, have you been extra strong in your message to your players about being careful, maybe even about being vaccinated because of your personal experience? Is that part of the reason why so far Arsenal have been clear this time?
No, we've been trying to explain what the risks are, how can we get it, what do we have to do if we do. But as well, I think now we all have relatives, we all have people around us that they've been through that in many different ways, and I think everybody's awareness is pretty good. The thing is that it's really difficult to control what happens outside when everything is open. So those bubbles that we were able to create before now are impossible to do.
Finally from me, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, is he available for selection?
No, he's not available for selection.
Has he got a future at the club?
For this game, he's not available for selection.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ian at TalkSport.
Hi, Nico. How are you? You okay?
I'm good.
Good. Jurgen Klopp said to me this week he'd like more transparency on. So instead of the team just saying, "Oh, we've got 10 people that tested positive," actually come out and say whether they're players, whether they're staff, not actually give the names. Do you think clubs should be more transparent now about actually how many players have got COVID, how many staff have got COVID, rather than just give a number?
I lost him there.
He's asking us, should Klopp said that clubs should be more transparent about who's got COVID and who hasn't, without naming names. Do you agree?
Well, this is what I'm saying, that we need clarity. At the end, the regulators will make the decision whether a game is played or not. But to play under the same rules, I think we all have to understand the reasons behind it.
Just a similar one about Thomas Frank yesterday, asking for this weekend to be called off. Do you think if the games are all called off this weekend, do you think we'd struggle to get them back going again? Because once you start stopping whole weekends, it will be difficult then to get it back going.
I don't know. We're going to have to find a way. We knew when we started this season that this could be a possibility. And I'm sure that there was a plan A, B, and C, because this can happen. And we have the African Nations Cups as well here in the middle of all these things. We know the World Cup that is coming in and the dates of that. So I think we need a flexible calendar now, because this world is not the world that we used to live in a few years ago, and we all have to be prepared. Like we all prepare with different protocols in every single day. For training session, you have to cancel training sessions. You have 6 players out. You have 20 members of the staff out. So I'm sure that the league has a very flexible calendar and options to fit it in, because this is where we live.
Do you think it's affecting or could affect the form of your players? Emma Hayes last night said that her players, she didn't recognise her team that lost because they were in the changing room beforehand almost sick with worry because of this. Are you worried that your players can't concentrate on their job because of this?
No, hopefully not. But we need to make a lot of remarks on that, because once we get to the competition, we have to be fully focused to do that, and don't use any excuses about what is happening in the environment. We know what we expect. We don't know what's going to happen in 3 days' time, in 6, 8, or 12. We can suspect that it's going to go one way, but we don't know, and we have to be prepared for that.
And finally, a footballing question. Your young players have really stepped up in not only this season, but actually probably for the last year or 18 months. I'm thinking especially of the likes of Emil Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. How much are they growing into men now? How much is it wrong for me to refer to them as kids or young players? How much are they becoming men in terms of football?
Well, they are contributing immensely to the performance and results of the team. That is true, but it's because they earn it, and because they have other players or the senior players around that they've been really supported and helpful, and the club has believed in them, and they have been given the opportunity, and they have taken those opportunities. So credit to them.
Good luck this weekend and stay safe.
Thank you. You too.
Alistair, BBC.
Hi, Mikel. Eddie Howe said last night, a little bit like yourself, that he didn't think it was fair that some teams were playing this weekend and others weren't. In terms of the fairness of the competition, would it be better if all the games were cancelled?
I don't know what the best solution is. I understand that it's a really complicated matter to make a decision right now. What I'm saying is, let's make the decisions based on what is the best for the competition and the health of everybody that is involved in the industry and in the society. And apart from that, after, we all stick to that, but with clear rules on what is a yes and what is a no.
And you mentioned there that the number of positives, well, you hadn't had any positives amongst the squad. I just wondered how important you thought the vaccination was in the way that you've got no positives.
The vaccination is really, really important. First of all, just in case you caught it, to prevent getting really ill. And we have seen that obviously that's been a massive help. But as well, you see many other cases, when they've been vaccinated and they still caught it. So you don't know.
So you're comfortable with the amount of vaccinated players you have in the squad?
Yes.
That's something that pleases you?
Yes, we try to do the right thing, and it's a really personal matter, obviously, but we try to educate. I think the doctor has done a brilliant job to try to explain to everybody, because culturally as well, there are a lot of thoughts around it, and we just try to educate them to try to encourage them to make the right decision. But first of all, they have to believe in that.
Last couple of questions. Obviously, it's been quite a big week for you, a test regarding Aubameyang, and also the win against West Ham was you talked about the unity of the group. I just wondered how big a test this last week had been for you as a manager in terms of your career.
Well, every time that you are sitting here, you have some challenges. You have some brilliant moments, some moments you have to make decisions. And I'm sitting here to try to make the right decisions every day. And my only intention is that, to get the club in the best possible condition, to defend our players, and to get the best performance and results on the pitch as we can. And it's been challenging because those decisions are tough and not pleasant, but you have to do what you feel is right.
And you mentioned there Pierre's not available for the game against Leeds. What does he have to do now to become available for selection again?
Well, he's not available for the Leeds game, and this is the situation right now.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Nick from Haters.
Morning, Mikel. Nice to see you. I think I know the answer to this question, but does the Aubameyang situation have any impact on Alex Lacazette's future and his contract situation?
Well, Alex's performance is an involvement and commitment is without a question not related to his contract situation. I discussed it in the summer with him, what the situation was, and we are both clear on that. And Auba's situation is something separate to that.
He just seems becoming increasingly important to the squad as well as the starting side now.
He's always been a really important player, and since we've been together, he's played a lot under me, and I've always been really pleased with him.
Okay, just a couple of celebratory questions. I noticed it's Martin Odegaard's birthday today. He's only 23. He seems to have come on a lot in the last few weeks or so. What's your views on his contribution?
Well, that he's very, very young, but he's already has a lot of experience in different clubs in the international level. Again, I agree with you that in the last few weeks he's getting very close to his best level, and the ceiling for him, it's I don't know where he is because of the talent that he has, the desire that he has, how much he wants, always trying to improve and get better at. So we've got a tremendous player there.
He seems to be a bit of a natural leader, doesn't he? Will he be part of your leadership group, do you think, going forward?
He is a natural leader. I think if you look for the perfect professional, he wouldn't be very far from that. And
the big anniversary, of course, which I'm sure you're aware of, was on Monday, is the anniversary of the day you were appointed an Arsenal manager 2 years ago. Have you got any celebrations planned? Are you reflecting? How do you feel about that?
I don't think the world is for too many celebrations. I just feel proud and grateful for the opportunity that I was given almost 2 years ago now.
I know it's difficult in these sort of short press conferences, but how do you reflect on it? How you've changed and things you've learned from not being a manager to now a manager for 2 years?
Well, we need. I could write a few books with everything that has happened, not only to me but around the football club, around the world in the last 2 years. So I don't know. Probably one day I need to stop and think carefully about what happened and the things that you take. But it's been a lot.
Yeah, I look forward to reading the book. Good luck at Leeds.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Charles from goal.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just quickly following on from that, it's been 2 years, obviously. Have you or the club started to hold any sort of discussions about potentially extending your contract at all? Because that has to be surely something on the agenda fairly soon, given the length of your contract.
No, we haven't discussed anything like it, and I think we have many other priorities at the moment that are far more important than that one, I think.
But would that be something possibly for the end of the season, do you think?
I don't know. Really, I'm not thinking about that. Just trying to get the best out of the team, try to cope with all the situations that we are facing at the moment, and things will happen naturally.
Against, God, my memory's gone. Who did you play? Who did you just beat? West Ham, obviously. It was another game you brought on Eddie over Nico, and you've spoken glowingly about Eddie's performances and why he is being considered at the moment. But just focusing more on Nicolas Pepe, why has he seemingly fallen a little bit down the pecking order at the moment?
It's with all the players that they are not having a lot of minutes. Obviously, the amount of games that we are having, is not enough room for all those players to do. With Nico's situation, it's something similar. I highlight Eddie in many occasions because it's what I see every day. And with Nico as well. But he needs more opportunities as well to show what he can do. And in the last few games, he hasn't had many.
I mean, can you understand the sort of focus on it, given this is the club's record signing and a player who's potentially out of contract in the summer and leaving on a free is coming over ahead of him, that it's quite a big talking point amongst fans right now, exactly why Pepe is struggling for game time?
I understand that. Again, I have to try to make the decision based on what I see every single day. And to be fair, Nico is really willing and is really willing to help the team. The reality as well is the position that he's playing. Bukayo has been playing regular there and he's been fantastic. So it's not been easy for him as well to find that time.
Just quickly on Jack Wilshere, he's coming up to the end of his period potentially at Arsenal. The January transfer window's approaching. You've seen a lot of him in training in the last couple of months. Have you been impressed at the standard that he's shown, and do you think he has shown enough to potentially get a Premier League move? Do you think he's at that level? Listen,
first of all, it's great to have him around because he's this type of characters. He has this special feeling to the club. The way he comes every day with a smile on his face, trying to do his best. His talent is unquestionable. When you look at him training, I think you heard some players saying he's the best in training. So he's got that. And now he's doing his coaching badges, and I think it's completely up to him the next step in his career and what the decision that he wants to make. And we are here to support that.
But do you still think he's good enough? He's potentially got the potential to play, Premier League football.
100%. when I see
100%.
him that and he has any doubt, I can tell him that he has.
At Arsenal.
That's a different story.
Thanks,
All right,
John.
thanks. Mikel.
Thank you.
We'll move on to embargo section, 10:30